Welcome to the Texas Roadhouse. I'm Tom Clark along with Mark Cruz, and we're here with the Mark Cruz Show. Today we're going to go over the results of the Shiloh game. And, Coach, before we get into the plays and highlights, give us a quick overview of the Shiloh-Brookwood game.
Well, you know, Shiloh and Brookwood have been playing each other almost as long as Parkview and Brookwood have been playing each other. It's a kind of close neighborhood game. They're just right on the other side of 78 from us, and you know, we've had a great deal of success against them, but it's always tough when you go over there and play at their place. You know, they got a lot of good athletes, and they've changed coaches several times, but I think the staff that they have there now is in place, and you know, in the aftermath of the game, you think those guys are doing a pretty good job. You know, I think before too long we'll have another pretty good team in Region 8-6A to contend with, like I said, going over there to play is always a little bit tough because you always run into a good tough football team over there, and we couldn't quite put them away. You know, we got up, and then they come back a little bit, and then we got up a little bit, and then they come back a little bit, which, you know, is a credit to a good football team. I mean, those guys didn't quit, and you know, I don't think our guys did either. It just sort of got to the circumstance in the game where we were ahead and we were winning. I mean, we were up 13 with 4 or 5 minutes left in the game. So we try to move the football, and you don't want to throw it and give them a chance for interception or stop the clock. So you got to be able to get first downs in that situation, and we didn't do that, so we gave them too many chances. And
probably a great game for a spectator, but gives the coaches some gray hair. Yeah,
you know, and I mean, you can kind of sort of feel it slipping away a little bit, but you know, you're still kind of in control of what's going on, and turned out to be another great win for us.
Well, good. Well, now that we've talked about the game, let's look into the highlights of the game.
We kick off to them, and our cover team does a great job. Going to stop them down there on about that 19-yard line, and once again, we get the little stop route out there on the first play of the game. We got that about 3 or 4 different times. That's a good play by Sean McGee right there. Sean hurt his ankle a little bit against Decula, so he was hobbled a little bit. And, oh, boy, that's a dangerous catch right there on the punt. But we get the ball going downhill at the 48-yard line. Nice job by Kai Priester and catching the punt, and Jamal getting us out of trouble. We catch a big first down ball and get a holding penalty, and then the quarterback, Zach Moon, and number 20, Colin Cotter, hook up for kind of a busted play, long touchdown, and the guys take a 7-0 lead after our first possession. Once again, do a pretty good job on the return, and Matt Price had 2 interceptions a week ago at when we played Decula, and just about had another one right there, just off the tip of his fingers. But we force a punt, and the punt guys are doing a great job. They're doing a good job of blocking, and I think they know that, you know, we got a little isolation play. Jamal breaks for about 12, 15 yards. But what I was saying was, I think our guys realize if they do a great job of blocking on the punts, that we got a couple of guys that can run it back there. So, you know, we're getting some good returns and all. But once again, we get down there close and put the ball on the ground, and you know, it's not a good thing. You need to protect that football a little bit better. And it looks like they're going to be on the move here just a little bit, and Garrett Reynolds comes up with a big interception, give us the ball back, and we try to run the tunnel screens, same play we scored on with Kai a week earlier, and then we don't get much out of it right there. And again, the defense puts us in great shape with Matt Price getting his 3rd interception in 2 weeks. And you know, he's earned playing time and doing a great job, and is kind of becoming a ball hawk there. So Jamal carries the results of the interception into the end zone, and we're up 21. And we get another fumble down here close at the 25-yard line. Kai picks up the ball and you know, we're 2 touchdowns ahead at the end of the first
Into
quarter.
one, we're up 14-0.
And it's kind of all Brookwood to that point, and Jamal and Zach hook up with a nice throw and catch in the on the 4 verticals route, and end up 21. So obviously we're close to the beginning of the second quarter. You know, up 21 points, and it's you know, had a couple of turnovers, and everything seems to be going our way. And then once again, I think I mentioned last time, you know, kind of having a little problem with the zone play, and they hurt us with it again. Daquan Joy defending on the fade route right there, and you see we had him hemmed up with 2 guys and didn't tackle him. And then we get a block in the back call that backs them up, so we stop them, and they kick a field goal, make it 21-3. So again, we're in great shape. We get a good return here from Kai up the sideline. He's going to that dude right there can run. I know our guy can run. And
you don't see Kai caught from behind very often.
You don't see him caught from behind very often, but we did right there. And then we certainly should have been able to put the ball in the end zone there, but we got a penalty, and then we had an incompletion, and just couldn't make it happen. So we're now 24. Big hit there by the number 25, Liam Trainer, and putting pressure on the quarterback, and they go up and drop the ball down the middle of the field, and then get a little play action look. And as much as we preach, you know, guys, if you're deep, you got to stay deep. If you're deep, you got to stay deep. And you know, we got lulled to sleep there, and they threw the ball over our head. So now we're ahead 14. So as I said at the beginning of the show, you know, it looks like everything's going along. We're 21, 24, and then all of a sudden they're climbing back in the game. And we got to do a little bit better job of pouring it on when we, instead of relaxing when you get ahead, you got to pour it on a little bit and make sure you seal the deal. Good job there by number 44, Xavier Robertson, on the sack, and then Afalabi Laguda comes up with a big interception right before the end of the half. We throw the crossing route to Kai, and once again we're trying to kind of move it right before the end of the half and see if we can't come up with some points. We ran out of time.
But we're up at halftime, 24-10 on Shiloh. We're back in just a minute to go over the second half highlights. Welcome back to the Mark Cruz Show. We're getting ready to go over the second half of the Brookwood Shiloh game. So, Coach, let's get right into it.
All right, here we go. They kick off to us. Once again, we deferred our choice. And I think that, once again, Coach Owens kind of put them in a kickoff situation. I thought we had a left return, and they kicked the ball hard to the right. So we throw the wheel out of the backfield. It's been a good route for us for several years. You know, guys, we get so many people. That's Jamal Cole carrying the ball and Josh Brown on the reverse. But we get so many people that sort of have the idea that we don't ever do anything but run the ball. We don't ever do anything but run the ball.
And for years, that's the way it was.
And so what we try to do is take it, you know, they put 9 people, 8 people, 10 people sometimes up there near the line of scrimmage because they say these, you know, all they're going to do is run the ball, so we're going to take chances on the pass. So for years, our big plays, a lot of our big plays have come on play action passes, particularly when you get second and short or second and medium, because you still got a manageable third down if you don't get it. So, you know, our guys have always been good at converting those play action passes because those guys are vulnerable when they're up there that close to the line of scrimmage, saying we're going to stop you from running the football. Pass out there to Jamal in the flat, doesn't quite get wide enough to get leverage on the defense, so we end up having to punt and give them the football back down there at a time when that was a fumble that the referee called down, and then you know, so they're inching their way back into the game. We need to shut them down on defense and make them punt the ball back to us. And we let the quarterback out of contain, and he extends the play and ends up kind of like we did on the first play of the game, or the first series of the game, where we turned kind of nothing into a big play, and now they're kind of doing the same thing. Got to tackle. Got to contain the quarterback and tackle. And so we stop them and force the field goal, and then they get a little bit of a low snap, and we got 3 or 4 guys in there that are Johnny on the spot and stop them and get us the ball back. So we're up 17 at the end of the third quarter. You think that should be a comfortable lead if you play good defense and drive the football. The problem, I guess, if there's a problem, was that you know, at a time when we needed to kind of take the ball out of their hands and drive it. There's another big interception there. I think that's Nick Aubie that got that one. And right now we need to put the game away. We need to put the game away. And
great defensive play by that young man.
Another wheel out of the backfield, and if we'd have thrown the ball about another 2 feet, we would have been able to extend and catch the ball away from our body, away from him a little bit. But he got in there and made a great play. We came back, and this is a touchdown, and it's a screen pass. He caught the ball at the line of scrimmage, and the umpire called us for having linemen downfield. It's like you're supposed to have linemen downfield on a screen pass, but they penalized us and took the touchdown off the board and cost us 4 points, which, you know, by the time we got to the end of the game, you figure that 4 points was pretty big. Again, the zone play that we've struggled with a little bit all year long, and appears that we're still kind of struggling with it a little bit. We're going to keep working at it and get better at it, and do a little bit better job of stopping. And you know, the thing I'm encouraged about is that, you know, as we go, you know, we get those guys down there even inside the 5-yard line. You know, those guys are hustling and playing hard on defense and making them take 3 or 4 snaps to get in at the 5. Well, you know, in the long run, that's using time off the clock that they've got to have to try to come back. They did the onside kick, and we stopped them on the onside kick, and then should have done a good job of getting the ball and driving it, finish the game. But again, we went 3 and out on offense, and you know, we'd like to be able to get a couple of first downs and get on the bus, but we didn't do that. So we give them new life, and they're driving the ball down the field here to try to get within 6. And their quarterback's a good player. As I told you, those guys got some good athletes, and you know, to their credit, they didn't quit either. Quan Joy comes up and kind of puts a stop to that play, and we're in man coverage, and we don't do a very good job of staying with our man. And then Garrett Reynolds does a great job of fielding the ball on the onside kick, and that was a great job. But it certainly was unfortunate for him because he was catching the ball over his shoulder, and the defender kind of drove his shoulder into Garrett, and he broke his collarbone, and probably be a 6 to 8 week injury, and more than likely kind of ended that senior's season. So we're certainly sorry to lose him, and you know, particularly on a kind of the play of the game kind of thing there. So he did a great job for us.
Well, at the end of the game, it was a 30-24 Brookwood victory. Did have some cost in with the young man getting hurt, probably out for the rest of the year. But we'll take a break now and come back in a minute and go over the players of the game. Welcome back to the Mark Cruz Show. We just went over the Shiloh game we played, and now we're getting ready to go over players of the game. So, Coach, you have the honors.
Players of the game. Always a pleasure to introduce those guys to you, the guys that work so hard, they play, and gain a little recognition for their effort. Our offensive player for the Shiloh game is a junior, a tight end who's doing an outstanding job, getting better every day, Keenan Sweeney. Keenan is our offensive player. on defense. You saw him shortly a few minutes ago making a big interception that set us up for a field goal, and that is Nick Albee, junior defensive back. Our special teams player, I don't think there's any doubt about the guy who had the special teams play of the game, and as we said earlier, kind of cost him the rest of his year, I think, but we're proud of Garrett Reynolds for making that play, and we could relax a little bit instead of having to worry about that 6 points with about 15 seconds left in the game. Big play by Garrett makes him the special teams player. Our goal team player is a defensive and offensive lineman, a junior, Nigel Simmons. Nigel does an outstanding job for us on both sides of the ball, and our 100% player is a guy that he's kind of an all-purpose player. He's doing an outstanding job for us on defense, playing a little bit of linebacker, a little bit of defensive end. When Jamal comes out, he becomes our fullback, and Josh Brown becomes our tailback. So kind of an all-purpose player, a guy who understands the game and can get in there and kind of do a lot of different things for us. And he should understand the game. He's been in the field house since he was a baby, I guess.
There you go.
Coach Moore's son, Josh Moore, is our 100% player for the week.
Well, thank you, Coach. That'll wrap up the review of the Shiloh game. We look forward to seeing you next time when we go over the results of the Brookwood Central Gwinnett game.